Eventually, if we're fortunate enough, we'll have aging parents. And it has its joyous moments, it has its challenging moments, and a lot of things in between and all around those. So recently, my dad reached out to me, and it seems to be a more recurring call where he'll get his bank statement and he won't recognize some of the debits, some of the checks. And so he'll contact me. We do have a joint account. And he'll get concerned because he doesn't recognize those amounts, or he thinks that the bank is inadvertently debiting or debiting, taking debits or checks out of his account without his authorization. That's not been the case. I do validate it. I have access online. And so recently, a couple of days ago, yesterday, he said, and he had some real concern about two particular items. Once I reviewed them with them, they were consistent, regular debiting items, and to do with house insurance and another insurance policy for my brother. So they were legitimate. So once I explained it to him, he apologized and he said, I'm sorry, I forget. Sometimes I said, that's okay, Dad, because we all forget. So I shared this with him by reading it. I wanted to give it to him in person, but because of my recent surgery on my knee, I'm not able to drive yet. It'll take another week or 10 days. So I want to share it the way I read it to him. And perhaps you can relate and share it with your dads and your family. Author's unknown, and it's just simply entitled Dad. There's a moment in every person's life when their father stops being invincible and becomes instead just a man trying his best. For some, it happens young. Maybe you saw him struggle to pay bills, watched worry cross his face when he thought no one was looking, or heard the uncertainty in his voice when he didn't have all the answers. For others, it comes later, perhaps when you become a parent yourself and realize the weight of decisions he carried. That realization can be uncomfortable. We want our fathers to be unshakable, to have all the answers, to never doubt themselves. But there's something profoundly beautiful about seeing them clearly, flaws and strength together, and recognizing the courage it takes to show up anyway. Some fathers were present and did their best. Some fathers were absent, leaving wounds that still ache. Some were complicated, a mix of good intentions and painful mistakes. Father's Day doesn't require us to pretend relationships were perfect, but it offers us a chance to see our fathers with the same grace we hope others extend to us. The men who fathered us were human. They had pressures we never saw and limitations they couldn't always overcome. Perhaps the real gift is understanding that perfection was never possible, and that showing up despite imperfection is its own kind of strength. What would change if we saw our fathers not as they should have been, but as they actually were? With understanding, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. God bless.